Welcome to Clarity Currents, the secret podcast with me, Danielle Laura, where I share weekly channeled messages about the energetics of the week and the areas of opportunity so you know how to work with the energy rather than in resistance to it and know how to leverage it for your highest level good in your business, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and legacy. This is Clarity Currents episode for the week of October 13th through the 19th, 2025. Let's dive in. When I tune into the overall energetics of the week, I see a vision of this garden right after a storm, where everything's still a little bit wet and messy, the air feels fresh, new sprouts are poking through the soil. That's the energy of where we are. Last week might have felt a little heavy or emotional, almost like you were being cracked open a little bit, but this week is a week of relief. This week is really about getting real with yourself and not from a place of judgment, but from a place of honesty. What parts are you ready to grow into the light now that the storm has passed? Where have you been trying to hold control when life's actually asking for you to loosen your grip and trust the process? And if you're in a place where things feel uncertain, just breathe. Nothing is falling apart. Everything is being rearranged to fit who you have become now. Business for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of business this week, I see a vision of a camera lens slowly coming into focus. At first, it's a little blurry, then crisp and clear once you adjust your angle. That is the vibe in business this week. You're seeing what really matters and what's just been noise. You may experience some surprise breakthroughs and inspired ideas that come out of nowhere. This is one of those weeks where something suddenly clicks, whether that's an offer idea, a direction, a conversation that shifts everything. But here's the thing. You've got to be willing to act on inspiration when it comes, even if it doesn't look logical, even if it doesn't make sense. You are meant to act on it. And it's really easy to second guess yourself and overthink what's next, but don't let self-doubt kill momentum this week. You're being asked to trust your business is meant to evolve as you evolve. The easiest path forward right now is to clean up anything that feels out of alignment or overcomplicated, make room for what actually lights you up, and stop waiting for the right time. You are the right time, and the right time is now. Relationships for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of relationships this week, I see a mirror fogging up and then slowly clearing, like old stories are lifting so real connection can happen again. I do sense an energy at play this week that might make it hard to tell what's real versus what you want to be real. So if you've been idolizing someone or even feeling confused maybe about where you stand, this week will bring clarity, but maybe that clarity is going to come through contrast. So some triggers might pop up, especially around worth, trust, or feeling seen. And if they do, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what is this actually showing me about what I need or what I'm ready to heal? This is a powerful week for honest, heart-centered communication. Don't try to win, just try to understand. Love gets deeper when you're both willing to be real. Health for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of health this week, I see a waterfall washing everything clean. This energy is all about release, physically, mentally, emotionally, also very much the energy of realignment. And I see a highlight around purification. This could very much look like getting back to simple routines, cleaning up your eating habits. Maybe it's decluttering your space, even taking a social media break. But whatever you need to do to purify your mind, your body, or your spirit, do that. I also see here you might feel a little extra tired or even sensitive midweek. And that is just your body saying, hey, I need a reset. So don't push, let yourself rest, stretch, hydrate, breathe, and get grounded again. Your body's wisdom is loud right now, so listen to it before it has to yell. Wealth for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of wealth this week, I see this calm river finally flowing again after this dam has been lifted. So money energy wants to move again, but it wants to move with the energy of flow, not force. Long-term growth and stable foundations are being supported, but you're being reminded to attract the energy, not chase the energy of money. This week, you want to come back to your relationship with money. And instead of asking, how do I make more or have more, ask, how can I feel more supported by what is already here? That mindset shift opens the door for more flow to come in naturally. And big message here is to trust the long game. You're building wealth in a way that feels sustainable. So release any stress energy that might be present. Spirituality for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of spirituality this week, I see a single candle flame in a dark room. It's simple, it's steady, it's powerful. This is a week for deep clarity and connection, especially through stillness. It feels like messages are coming through fast this week. Like you thought you were trying to have an answer or manifest something, and it is going to come through immediately through dreams, sudden insights, or even conversations that feel totally divinely timed. The key is to make space to hear them and receive them. So if you're constantly consuming, you're going to miss those whispers. So create quiet time this week. Journal, meditate, pray, take a walk without your phone. You will be surprised at what drops in when you are not trying to force the answer. And legacy for the week of October 13th. When I tune into the energetics of legacy this week, I see a sunrise over a mountain. Like this new chapter is forming from all of the lessons the last few months. This week reminds you that your legacy isn't something that you achieve. It's something that you live moment by moment through your choices, your integrity, and how you show up. If the path looks foggy, it looks like towards the end of the week, you will have the clarity and the push that you need to take those clear, inspired actions. And it doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be intentional. You can ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Then just do that. That is the legacy work. There you have it, Hot Soul, your intuitive forecast for the week. Wishing you peace, clarity, and those little moments that remind you how guided you really are. Until next week.